Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at?
It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what. Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy cars, so you tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up,
Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation, the home of Rhodri Gigs on Football. Rhodri is not here at the moment. A few technical issues, but he should be joining us at some point. However, the show must go on, and we'll discuss a range of football topics for the next 45 minutes or so. If there is any particular topic you would like to discuss, obviously we've got the South Wales Derby this weekend, first week of the Premier League last week. Going to talk a little bit about Chelsea as well, because I cannot believe what I'm reading and hearing coming out of our football club for a club with such history, and obviously both recent and going back further, to be conducting itself that way is bizarre. It's very strange. But we'll discuss that. We'll kind of discuss whatever you guys like to. It will get stuck in. Hopefully Rhodri will be able to join us then. At some point, keep an eye on that. But yeah, it's an interesting one. If you like the podcast in audio format, all of our content is on the Sports Social Podcast Network. Big thanks to them as always for supporting us. And you can check out all the previous Rhodri Gigs episodes, guests, all these different things. But away we go, as it were. So we will start with Chelsea. It has been mental. Mental, I think, is a fair way to describe it since Todd Boehly came in. They have spent an astronomical amount in the last couple of years. And they're the only ones who seem to not care about FFP. And look, I'm sure they found some sort of loophole or reason. Since 2022, it's something like just over, I think, 1.5 billion or something like that. There's no way they've brought anything near that in. I know they've brought some in with certain sales, but it's an incredible amount. And when you look at the squad that they have, it is wild. The amount of players they have who are, or at some point have been highly rated or, first team footballers at a good high level. And then you've got the manager this week saying, look, I don't want to quote it because it came up on, I think it was Monday Night Football, maybe Super Sunday, but Jamie Carragher and Cole were discussing it and they said, look, like, where is Joe Felix going to play? And then I think Carragher said, not necessarily where's he going to play, where's he going to sit in the changing room where he's going to train? There's so many players. And there was a video going around of all the squad like training in the gym. And there's so many of them. I think you're looking at sort of 40 first-team players. I know they took 27 on tour. The manager this week has said, in response to those kind of comments about the size of the squad and the amount of people there, that he's training day-to-day with 21 or 22, and then there's another 21 or 22 who don't train with the manager. That is mental. I think some of those, for instance, you've got Ben Chilwell, people like this. These are internationals. Trevor Chabalars come through the academy, and they're treating him like that. It's outrageous treatment of players and it's become a real circus since Todd Bowley's taken over. And I mean, say what you will about Roman Abramovich, and people used to criticize him and the spending, but I think one thing is certain is he deeply cared about Chelsea Football Club. I would love to sit down with him and get a penny for his thoughts. I wonder what he's thinking, because it has been absolutely farcical from day one of Todd Bowley taking over. Since that 2022 takeover, it's taken them 2 years to reach spending of $1.5 billion on signing players, including another $250 million so far in this transfer window. They've also managed to go through numerous managers in that time. They've gone from Champions League winning Thomas Tuchel to Championship winning Enzo Maresca. Apart from this last season, his only managerial experience was in the Italian second tier, where he only lasted a handful of games. And it does feel like shambles feels like the way. And I'd be really interested to hear from Chelsea fans what they make of it, because I'd be worried about it. Like, you look at the way they've been dishing out points deductions and this, that, and the other. And I know people will point to Man City and say, oh, they haven't dealt with that and they haven't done this. But I mean, with that, Man City is such a complex case of so many charges. They've obviously got very expensive lawyers, which is meaning that they're taking it, they're moving it back and back all the time, delaying it and things like that. But that'll take time, and they'll deal with it. Everton, Forest, all these clubs have been deducted points. Are Chelsea fans worried about that? Would you be worried about that if you were a Chelsea fan? Me personally, I'd be concerned about the way they're going about business, but I'd also be concerned how they're treating players like Conor Gallagher, players like Trevor Chalobah. These are players who are Chelsea through and through. I know Conor Gallagher came from elsewhere, but they're Chelsea players who've done a great job for the side. Conor Gallagher, through all the criticisms he gets from people, he is a big part of what Chelsea did last season. He was a big part of them getting better in the second part of the season and finishing in a fairly respectable spot, compared to at one point it looked like they were going to finish in the bottom half. So everyone complains about the owners of their club and this, that, and the other, but it can always be worse. Always be worse. What do we make of it? Because I think it's outrageous that there's 20 odd players who are first team level who have just been pushed to the side. Like, where are the PFA in cases like this? Surely this is what they're for. Should these players be treated like that? So I'm just looking at their squad, and I'm going to read it real quick. I'm not sure if Kepa's still there, but he's on this list. You've got Robert Sanchez, they've got 7-8 keepers. Kepa, Sanchez, Jorgensen, Bettinelli, Petrovic, Bergström, and then you've got defenders. Desai, a big signing. Cucurella, Adrabayo, Benoit Badiashile, Levi Colwell, Trevor Chalobah, Ben Chilwell, Reece James, Gusto, Fofana, Achimpong, Vega, Neto, Angerin, Enzo Fernandez, Chukwuemeka Mika, I apologize about that pronunciation, Cole Palmer, Dewsbury Hall, Moses Caicedo, £100 million player, by the way, Moses Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, £100 million player, Casade, Lavia, Fofana, Felix, Joe Felix, Neil, Raheem Sterling, Brozier, Mudryk, and I think he's another £100 million player, Nicholas Jackson, Mudryk, Nkunku, Tyreek George, Washington, Kellyman, Goy, Angelo, Lukaku still there. Outrageous, absolutely outrageous amount of players. And I got to say, I don't think it's right that that's allowed to happen. I think, should there be a cap on the amount of players clubs can have in a squad at one time? I know they can only, they name a 25-man squad or stuff, but should they be able to hoard players like that and then just effectively just chuck them to the side because they want a shiny new toy. I'm not sure that's appropriate and the way it should be. And I do feel for some of those players, not all of them. Some of them, I think, Lukaku, for instance, could have gone elsewhere if he lowered his wage demands and things like this. But he's getting a hefty wage there, so why should he worry about going elsewhere? It's bizarre. And then sacking Pochettino. What was that about? Pochettino had steadied the ship. He's the type of manager, if you give him a couple of years, he's going to do all right. Seemed like he was getting things going. And then all of a sudden, he's gone out of the blue. Did he want less interference from Todd Bowley? I think it was Rhodri said to me on a show previously, one day he's just gonna come down and do the team talk, and at half time he just seems like that manager, that owner who is just gonna interfere and never let go, if you like, of control. But they got incredible players. So you think, well, surely it'll come good and they'll do quite well this season. But I can't imagine that that's good for morale. Because you look at, you look at some of those players, Mudryk and Ben Chilwell, these players. Oh, Ben Chilwell, right? I guarantee he's got friends in that squad. Trevor Chabala, who's come through the academy system, played for Chelsea. They will have players in the squad that's being trained with a manager. They'll have friends and stuff like that. That cannot possibly be good for morale and things like this. Surely something has to be done. I don't know. I'll put the question to the chat. Is this something that the PFA should be looking at and dealing with? How can a club be allowed to have 45 players in a senior squad and just disregard half of them? So they're not even training with the manager. But I guess it's a room problem, isn't it? They haven't got enough room for them all to train together. Maybe that's the issue. It'd be fascinating, really, because if it all clicks, they could have an incredible team. But I find it difficult to believe that it's going to click. I'm not sure about the manager. And then, of course, last weekend, how bad could it get for Chelsea? Could it all fall apart and then end up with points deductions and relegations and things like that? I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you kind of can't predict it. Napoli are trying to get, Lukaku in. So Raheem Sterling put a statement out right before the Chelsea-Man City game because he wasn't in the squad. And it was a weird one. He took a bit of criticism. But I mean, I get what he was trying to do. He was trying to put out a statement and give a bit of clarity to the situation. But you don't do it 20 minutes before kickoff or whatever it was, just before kickoff. It's, it's a strange old one, to just, just put a statement out right before the kickoff of the first game of the season, big game against Man City, second game of the season, first. And no player has a divine right to play. And I think the statement to me was ill-advised. I think his agents have probably given him bad advice there. But then that doesn't necessarily, I think he could have put a statement out, but it's the way you do it. Look at how things turned out with Sancho at United. His career hasn't really recovered from that. You can't be going up or going out and going against the manager and things. And I mean, look, clubs will be sniffing about now. I know Aston Villa have been sniffing around Raheem Sterling, trying to get him on loan. I think that would be a great signing for him and for them. And I wonder what other players, clubs couldn't have a look. I'll tell you what, send Trevor Chalobah on loan down to Cardiff City if you want, although I don't think we need any more bloody defenders. But I wonder if there'll be a bit of a fire sale. Will they have to get rid of a load of players cheapest chips just to try and balance, not just balance the books, more even just make room in the building to try and allow players to go. I saw there was something in the Evening Standard a couple of days ago saying that there was a fire sale for 14 players facing the exit before the window closes. That's crazy, isn't it? Like, what, a week? And they're trying to sell 14 players. There's some agents who are going to get real rich. Let's see who they're naming. Georgi Petrovic. Chelsea only signed the Serbian goalkeeper in August 2023. So they only signed him last year. 24-year-old, cost 14 million. He already looks like he's heading out the door, which is strange because he's good with his feet by all accounts. Kepa looks like he's going. He was the world's most expensive goalkeeper in 2018 when he signed for 71 million. Was on loan at Real Madrid last year. It doesn't look like he'll be going back there, but there is other Spanish clubs interested. He's 29 years old. Chabalao, I mentioned, come through the academy and just been treated rather to say the least. I'm going to bring old Rodders in now. He's fixed his technical issues and stuff. How are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, nightmare.
It's all right, mate. It's all good. I've just been talking about Chelsea, mate, and what an absolute shit show it is. Absolute shambles, to be quite honest with you. So the manager put a statement out earlier in the week in response to some comments on Sky from Jamie Carragher and co, where they basically said they've signed João Felix, and it's not just a case of where is he going to play, it's where's he going to sit in the changing room, where's he going to train. And the manager's come out and said, well, I've actually, we've got all these players under contract, but I've got a squad of 22 who train with me. The other 23, they're training on their own over there. I don't see them. And it's just like, how is that? That shouldn't be allowed, mate, I don't think. Where's the PFA in terms of how can they hoard 40-odd players and 23 players, some of which are international footballers, have just been cast aside. No, you're not even training with the manager. Like, do you see a problem with it?
You're always going to have problems with it when you've got so many players like that. And where do you play them? With Raheem Sterling, 1 minute you're involved, 1 minute you're getting ready to leave the club because you're not wanted anymore, or you're being treated or mistreated. It's just it's a mess, mate. It's a mess there at Chelsea. They seem to get to grips with it at the end of the season, and they get rid of the coach, and they're starting again. So they still haven't got a striker. Still, they can do as much as they want. Until they get a striker, they've got no chance.
But isn't it mad,
They've
mate?
got
Right?
problems in midfield as well, mate. They spent 220 million on 2 players, and they're both not playing to it.
It's mad, mate, that they've got all these players and they got like 8 goalkeepers, and they have got strikers and forwards, but they're just not. They don't seem to be up to the standard. They're linked with Osherman, and you think surely they cannot go and spend another 100 million on another player without selling, a good few players. But it does seem as if that might happen. I was just kind of going through. They're trying to get rid of 14 players before the window closes in a week. Petrovic, Kepa, Trevor Chabalao, who's an academy graduate, being treated shoddily. Ben Chilwell. These are players who should be treated, I think, with a bit more respect. Conor Gallagher, like good servants to the football club. Raheem Sterling. Some of the players they're trying to get rid of only signed last year, and they barely played, and now they're going to try and get them out of the door to make room. What did you make of Sterling's statement, mate, like an hour before the first game of the season?
If you read into it, it's not him controlling that when it comes out. That's obviously, if you read into it, it's not part of him White's come out at that time. It's poor timing, but that they've obviously done it like that to get a proper reaction, which they have. Made Raheem Sterling look bad, to be honest, and it just looks like they want him out, and what by any means necessary. And if that looks like us treating him like badly, then so be it. He's on 300 odd grand a week, so we need to get him off.
Do you know what's sort of, what I was talking about just now or alluded to is, I do think you could see the wheels just completely coming off, because those 23 players who are training on their own, they'll be friends with some of the players who are in the group that's with the manager. And you just think that cannot be good for the morale and the togetherness of the squad. It just can't. There's no way that can be a functioning working environment to me. I just don't see how that's possible. Do you? Could you see it working at all?
No.
And the thing is, the amount they've spent, mate, as well, like nearly 2 billion now. And if they go and spend another 100 million on Osherman or someone like this, a striker, it's like at some point you'd think that the FFP is going to come back and bite them on the ass. So if they end up with a points deduction and then they've got all these players, it does feel like they could be in, the wheels could well and truly come off. And where's this fit and proper purpose test for owners, I thought they were supposed to avoid having owners which do outrageous things to clubs where they end up, in financial difficulty or, running them into the ground. And it feels like they're nowhere to be seen again.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, mate. It really is. But they're the people that's supposed to help the coach at the minute. Yeah, it's making things worse. There's too many. It's too many. And you only need one, mate. You only need one disgruntled employee. You've probably got 7 or 8 there.
At least.
Setting fires there, setting fires here, setting fires there. So this coach coming in, he's fucking inexperienced as a Premier League coach, and he's coming in and he's got to set out all these fires. It's not going to go well for Chelsea, I'll tell you that. I say it's not going to go well. You're looking at 7th, 8th again. You've got some good teams in there, mate. Some good teams.
Yeah.
Look at Tottenham. I know. Look at the result on Monday, but Tottenham were absolutely battering Leicester. I mean, absolutely battering them. Leicester score, the game just changed totally, and goals change games, and then Leicester, to fair play to them, that they got back into it, and they could have even won it. But Tottenham, if it was a fight after 55, 60 minutes, it would have been done, finished. But this is football, you've got to take these chances when you get them, and Tottenham didn't. They had chance after chance, they didn't. So, and then a good goal by Leicester. So, well deserved as well. They kept on going, even though they were chasing shadows for most of the game, but they kept going, and they got the result in the end.
Yeah, they did, and they were good value for that point in the end, just for the way they stuck in there under pressure and then took their chance when it came. Lastly on Chelsea, obviously last season for a very long time, it seemed like they might end up they might finish in the bottom half. But Pochettino kind of got them together, and they did finish better than they had been for the majority of the season, and to a fairly respectable sort of mid-table position. But I mean, if the wheels come off, you do worry will this manager have the experience to keep them up? Can he do a relegation battle if it all goes wrong? Can he control all these egos? Because I mentioned just before you came on, his only experience before Leicester last year was in the Italian second division, where he was sacked after a few games. So he's not a massively experienced coach. He's done the championship last year with a very good Leicester side, got them up, but they should have gone up with the players they had. There's no guarantees that they'll be up there and things like that. It's going to be an absolute. Well, I'll tell you what, mate. It'll give us lots to talk about this year because I don't think it's going to be boring covering Chelsea in the Premier League.
And even when there's João Felix coming, last time he didn't really do much, did they?
No, he didn't. He was all right. He wasn't terrible, but he was all right. But I mean, they got £100 million Modric, £100 million Casado. Hasn't looked the same player since he gone to Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez, highly rated young midfielder, hasn't really, he's looked probably one of their better players. But I mean, for 100 million, I think be fair to say people would expect a little bit more. So it's going to be a lot of egos in there, mate. A lot of things. Just on that, some of the players they're trying to get rid of. Ben Chilwell's one. It was reported in the papers today that he's been offered to United on a short-term deal. Would you take him as a backup to the sort of left side that you've got?
I'd rather have the young kid in. Can't remember his name, to be honest.
Harry
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. And Chilwell hasn't got the best. I don't think he's got the best injury record either, which the last thing you need isn't more injuries after last season. So, very quickly there, mate. United's first game, I thought they'd done all right against Fulham. Fulham are decent, and I think they'll have a good season again this year. Got a good manager. United got it over the line with new signing Xerxes getting the goal. What did you make of the performance, though? I think is the interesting element to it more than anything.
You can't really judge off pre-season, but clean sheet, 3 points, some half chances that you'd expect them to finish, but not in all. No. Yeah, it's a good result, but Casemiro looks like he's on it this year.
Do you know what he looks like to me, mate? Casemiro. He looks like his feelings got hurt by people saying he was finished, and he wants to just remind people about just quite how good a footballer he was or is. He looks like he's motivated. Whether he's still got it in his legs and his. He's got that in him still is another thing, but I think he looks motivated, which is obviously a good sign. Fabrizio Romano reported today that United have got an agreement now with Ugarte to come on loan from PSG and then sign after that, which I think is exactly what they need. So, be interesting, mate. I thought you looked. I see a lot of people giving it the doom and gloom with United, but I actually think they look quite well poised this year. As long as they don't have the same amount of injuries that they had last year, I think they'll do all right, because I think Ten Hag's been there a while. He's got the squad he wants now to a certain degree. There's still players obviously he would like to have out of there, but I think the signings have been clever this year. So I could see why, they might be. I think they could do quite well, mate. I think they might finish third or fourth. It's a long season, a long way to go. Obviously, Xerxes got his first goal, mate, as well. Important to get that early goal when you sign.
Good finish as well, to be honest. Good finish.
And you know what, mate? Before the goal, I thought he looked tidy. Wasn't really doing anything too, sort of dangerous, if you like extravagant. He was just keeping it nice and simple. And then as soon as he scored, he had a little extra zip in his step, then a nice little turn and sprayed the ball around a bit. And I thought, oh, there's a player. Because before that, I thought he looked a bit nervous, a bit not clumsy, but just a little bit wasn't sure. And then as soon as that goal gone in, he really looked like he had a zip in his step, And I think goals breed confidence, don't they? 3 points. Or it just breeds that belief.
No, you could see it. Like you said, as soon as he scored. Sorry, I'm just going upstairs. As soon as he scored, He's like you say, his touches, little flicks. But he looks like a big fella as well. So
He's a unit, isn't he?
yeah, he looks like a big fella as well. But mobile, can drop in the 10 spot like he did, start, play up. So yeah.
I think it's a big game for you on the weekend against Brighton, because that's a bit of a team which you've not struggled with over the last few years, but in recent times it's been a difficult game for you. And I think if they can come away with a good performance and 3 points, then I think that will give, that'll breed a bit of confidence, breed a bit of belief in the fan base as well. And do you know what I noticed about Brighton, mate? They're largely playing very similar to they have done under the previous managers, but they had a super high line, and they were like pressing. So the opponents had the ball on like the semicircle coming towards them, and their back four was on the halfway line. And I was just thinking, God, if they do that against certain teams, they'll get really ripped apart in the transition and stuff, because people will just play in behind and use pace. And actually, that'll probably suit you lot next week. If they play with a super high line, they'll play Rashford, Garnacho out wide and try and get in behind. You'd imagine it'll go that would play into United's hands a little bit. They struggle more against a low block, United do, don't they? Though they have done recently.
Well, saying this today, playing golf with me, mate. Yes, they're a good team, but there'll be a lot more spaces. So, if United get it right, but they'll have to. It won't be easy. It's a tough game there, away on a Saturday 12:30 kickoff. So yeah, it won't be easy, but there will be spaces there, and there will be spaces behind. So if they play it right, and the right personnel, like they can't play a false nine because they can, I suppose, but it's a lot more harder if you're playing with a false nine and not a nine that's wants to go the other way, can drop in into the 10, but can also go the other way. But yeah, that's Zerky right play now. He's come on, he scored a goal. You might think, what? I'm going to start him now. I talked about this last week, mate. If you get a good start as a striker, like Højlund, it took him like 3 months to get a goal. I think he had one, but it was taken off him by Rashford because Rashford had scored it or something like that.
It was out of play, wasn't it? Rashford crossed it, and it was like just over the line.
Yeah. So, but then look at Solanke. If he didn't get one, it'll just go on and on. It'll make things harder. But he's come on with 30 minutes. Did okay, but like I say, after he scored his goal, you can see that confidence. The confidence it gave him, and yeah, it was. It's good. It's good, mate. It's good. Let's not get over the top. No. It's 1-0 at Fulham, and it was a good result.
What? Just very quickly, mate. Obviously, I think it would be the ideal game for Højlund actually to get him behind, but I'm not sure if he'll be fit. Unfortunately for you. What did you make of Mason Mount? Because I seen a lot of mixed views on what he was doing. He in his pressing stats were the best out of the whole Premier League that week over the first weekend. But I saw a lot of people saying they want to see more from him on the ball. But I mean, I thought he did a pretty good job, and I just
think with him, even though he's been there a year, he's not had a really good start. So he's starting over again. He just needs a run of games, and then I don't think he's a player that comes off the bench, and he needs to play regularly. But it's going to be difficult. But could have scored. Really, probably said, if he was honest, he'd probably say he should have scored. But good energy, mate. Good at getting the ball back. Technically decent. Just want that a little bit extra from him. But I'm sure that'll come, or hopefully it does.
And then sort of lastly, I think the Brighton game should show the importance of having a squad, because I think Amad Diallo has been really good since he's been, pre-season, and he's come into the United starting 11. And I think he's been good, but I think the way Brighton have played recently, it's the ideal game to play Rashford and Garnacho. So you rotate Diallo and bring him off the bench, in my opinion. Same, not playing a false nine. You need a striker and you need fast, pacey wingers who are going to go in behind rather than drop in and play. Don't know what you think about that, but I think he's perfect against a low block. But I think there's other players.
And also, if they've got a lot of space and they're playing high line now, halfway line, then that's dangerous with the speed that United have got. So, like I say, it's going to be an interesting game, because they're a good team, young coach, and Brighton have done well of late. Different coach, different ideas, but I'm sure they're keeping the philosophy of keeping the football, high press, and keeping it well. And good start, 3-0 away from home. It's a tough game. It's like I say, it's a tough game.
Ipswich
if we come away there with a good result, then we're on the way. Then that's why I'm not getting over excited about a home win at Fulham, because we should be expected to win that at home with the quality we got. Them missing their selling probably their best player, so they're not as strong as last year. It's a good result, like I say. But if we beat Brighton at a clean sheet, then we're on the right path. It's just one game at a time.
So Liverpool played Ipswich. Obviously came away with the victory in the end, but Ipswich caused them a bit of trouble, mate. In the early parts of the game.
I watched the game. I watched all of it, and Ipswich were very good first half, but Liverpool were very good second half. So it's a game of two halves, mate.
Well, having seen that of Ipswich, what is your early impressions of what they'll do this year? Do you think they're going to be?
I like the look of them. The only thing I worry about Ipswich is the quality and depth. The kid Burns went off for him, the right midfielder, and they seem to not have the same energy or not have the same cohesion. What's the word? Cohesion together. So. But I like the way they play. Brave, but there's where they need to win most of their games, mate. You can't just jot off Liverpool, because Liverpool turned on second half. But that's where they need to gain most of their points. It's a tough old slog up to Ipswich on a weekend, or if they get to play in the week. So they have to use that Portland Road as a fortress and difficult place to go. So. But I like the look of them. I like the look of Leicester as well, to be honest. But Tottenham really, they battered them for 60 minutes. As soon as Leicester scored, the game just changed.
Yeah, what do you make of Jamie Vardy answering the fans and Romero back, who'd obviously had a few words to say to him?
I don't mind that, mate. He just took abuse for 70, 80 minutes and scored. And and he pointed out, he is a Premier League winner and Tottenham haven't won it yet. So
I don't mind that. Mate.
You don't mind that. He's just on a little bit of banter. Romero should just stay up. Keep his beak out, shouldn't he? Really, but
it's an interesting one. What about Liverpool's first game under Arne Slot? What do you make of that? Wait for you to get your dog out.
Sorry, mate. Just let the dog in.
Liverpool's first game under Slot. What do you make of that overall?
Yeah, like I say, with United, mate, for clean sheet, good result. Could have been a lot worse, but because they did start bright, Ipswich started very bright, but the second half, the quality shone with Salah and Trent Alexander, Jota, and the rest of them. So, it's good, mate. It's good. He's obviously not a punch in the air guy. He's a bit more somber, a bit more. So he's not going to get involved in any of that nonsense that Klopp got involved in. So he seems to be his own man. And like I say, it's a good result because that'll be a tough place to go. That later in the year, I reckon, Ipswich.
Yeah, and like you say, it's a bit of a trick in it as well, geographically, and that can have an effect. Do you know? Just very quickly, I just realised, or I remembered, should I say, Jermaine Jenas sacked by the BBC, mate.
Yeah, I've just seen that. Yeah, but yeah, he's on Talk Sport today at 4:00.
Was he?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Look, I mean, I can't, obviously can't comment on the whatever the allegations are. I have no idea what they are and whatnot. But obviously, the BBC thinks there's something to it for them to sack him. And look, he was lined up to be the replacement for Gary Lineker, mate, as the face of Match of the Day and whatnot. So it's
he's probably the only footballer that could probably do it and do it well.
No one else springs to mind as a presenter.
No, because he's quite good, Jenas. He's very comfortable, very very easy. So he's obviously been a naughty boy.
I mean, I could imagine Neville doing it. But he seems to be very intertwined with Sky, like even his
he's not
podcast, everything is.
He's a bit political, guy Neville as well, isn't he? So he's not going to get involved with BBC.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true, actually. So yeah, that's obviously it is what it is. One thing which is it stems from a United quote, but I think it's a discussion for all clubs. But Ten Hag. Basically said that every single player in the squad has got to get or deal with the disappointment of being left out of matches, rotated, dropped, whatever you want to call it. You have to deal with it and make a point, basically, don't you? I mean, Jadon Sancho was left out of the squad versus Fulham. I think most people expect him to leave, but
I think he had an ear infection.
Yeah, it was weird. He sort of said he had an ear infection, but he was available to play. So it was like a weird thing. But I mean, I think he's going, and let's be honest. I don't think anyone's expected him to stay. But it goes for everyone, mate, doesn't it? These Premier League teams these days, they've all got big squads, 20 players. Most teams have got 2 players in each position. And if you're not on it, you've got to deal with being dropped or not in the squad. And it's how you deal with it, how you go about it.
Correct. It's when you're playing well and you get dropped, and then you've got probably a point, but still, there's no point in whinging about it. You just knuckle down and play well, and then you keep your place. That's all I'd say. It's difficult though. It's difficult for him because he's got Rashford, he's got Garnacho, he's got Ahmad. Who else is there? Anthony.
I mean, Mount can play off the right as well.
No. Bruno Fernandes. Palistri's just gone, so that there's he's one of 5 mates for 2 spots. So play better, play the way how you got to Champions League final, be braver. But we'll wait and see, mate. We'll wait and see. I don't think he'll be there. Start of September.
See Conor Gallagher's. Conor Gallagher is Atletico Madrid unveiling. Tried to do a bit of Spanish, mate, and it was interesting, should we say?
Yeah, they appreciate that, though. They appreciate if you go and try over there, you try and learn the lingo and try and they appreciate it. They know he's not Spanish, but they people like away fans like that, or I mean, like fans of different countries. They appreciate you trying to learn the language and.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I was in London yesterday filming something, and which I can't say what it is, but I was filming something for it's like a TV pilot thing, and I just got to shut up because I'll say what it is. But I was filming something in London. I nearly said it again then. But anyway, I had to say a Welsh phrase. Well, I don't speak Welsh, and they had this Welsh phrase for me, and I'm pretty sure I absolutely fucking butchered it. But there we go. I done my best. Hopefully people will appreciate it. Got some beautiful press shots though, mate. I definitely think there's an avenue for a bit of modelling for me Is there like a market for grumpy middle-aged men?
What was it? Modeling shoes.
Yeah, that's it, man. No, I think I'm going to bring in the chic walking stick look. Definitely got it going
Wait
on.
and see, won't I? Wait and see.
Alex just reminded me of something in the comments, so I thought I'd bring this up. He said, I love Rod. He says it as it is, but he is still getting absolutely walloped in the Fantasy Premier League. So there we go. But
I beg to differ.
Well, I'm assuming he's referring to you and him rather than me and you. But let's talk about it. Last weekend, so the start of the charity leagues, we are raising money for the Free Kicks Foundation and the Cystic Fibrosis Trust. After week 1, Ollie Rushworth tops the FPL League with 75 points, and Alan Bodman tops the Super 6 League with 19. But how did me and Rhodri get on in our 1v1? Rhodri beat me in a fantasy league, although I did better than I thought I would.
You're saying top there, 75. I got 70.
You got 70, yeah. I got 48 points, which mate, that's pretty good for me in fantasy football. Absolutely shocking. However, my bread and butter, where I constantly wall up Rhodri.
What's this Alex got chatting his shit? What's he got?
Set him off down. I got 11 points, and Rhodri got 6 in the Super 6. We will do our predictions in a minute. But Alex D, come on, mate. Get your fat.
Did he get
88? He can't be in the league, can he?
Exactly, you know what I mean? 88.
Not even in the charity league.
As one good week, and you can't shout about it enough.
Well, in fairness to him,
see him in April, mate. Yeah.
If he was in our prediction league, he would be top.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but he's not.
He's probably in the league all with himself. Just him and Alex fighting against each other.
You know what it is, mate? Alex hates charity. That's what it is.
Yeah,
shocking.
there you go.
Shocking. It's a long old season indeed, he says.
Yeah, 88's not bad though. 88's not bad. 88 probably be top in my group because I'm in 3 groups.
Right, I tell you what, then, mate. Right.
I'm 3rd in one, 5 in the other, and 7th in the other. So I'm doing all right, 10th or whatever.
Tell you what, then, right. We got 2 minutes. As we know, fantasy football is not my forte. I struggle with it.
Well, we know that.
I need some tips and some advice for fantasy football. How to get my what do I need to do? Do I need to address it each week?
How about pick players that are going to play?
Well, I thought I did that, didn't I? I thought I had a good side. Should we have a look? Let's have a look at my side. And,
yeah. Did they all play?
No, I think I had Ivan Toney on my side. So I take him out now, innit? Take him out and put someone else in.
Probably.
He's going to go, innit? So
probably.
I don't know where I'm going wrong. I look on paper, I got a good side, and then I thought, it makes it boring if I fall away after 3 weeks. So I'd rather have a semi-decent side. Right. My team. This is my team, right? So I got Onana in goal. And then I got Konza from Villa, Saliba, Pedro Porro from Spurs, and Akanji at the back. Just solid back four.
See, that's not bad. I've got 2 of them, I think. No, I've got Gavadol for City.
Yeah.
Gabriel and Pedro Porro. Then back 3. That's my back 3. And Onana, who's got 6 points.
And then in midfield, I've got Cole Palmer, quality player. Bruno Fernandes creates the most chances in the Premier League.
I've got Bruno Fernandes.
Ahmad and Foden. And then up front, I had Ivan Toney and Calvert-Lewin.
Calvert-Lewin? Ew.
For some reason, I've got Odegaard on the bench. He should have played.
There you go. You're just a rookie, aren't you? Well, I've got a front 3. Yeah, I've got the kid from Brighton. Haaland, and Isak.
So how do I move?
Midfield, Fernandes, Jota, Saka, and who's the other one? A kid from Wolves, Bengard or Ben. Yeah.
Right.
Swapped him. I had Jorginho in, but I've swapped him.
So I'm going to put Ollie Watkins in for Ivan Toney. Okay. And then I'm going to put Odegaard in for... Who have City got on the weekend? Ipswich, right. So we definitely want Foden playing for that one. I'm going to take Ahmad out because I think he's going to be dropped. Robinson from Fulham. They play Leicester. Do I take Pedro Porro out? Pedro Porro scores goals, though. That's why I picked him.
Pedro Porro, but he's injured. He come off injured on the weekend. But it looked like I'm going to keep him in, so I'm going to go for keep him in.
I'm going to go with Anthony Robinson. I like him. Don't make loads of transfers, though, because it costs... No, I'm just swapping him off my bench. I'm not making transfers.
But you can only use what? You can only do one a week.
So, right. What's this mystery chip shit? What's all this like? So
I don't know. I need to be looking at it. I don't know.
So you got mystery chip, wild card, free hit, triple captain, and bench boost.
Yeah. They're little bonuses you get through the seasons when you use them. But
so if I use them now, I won't have them later.
Yeah, you need to let the season settle. Let you see what players like. Bench boost. If I had a bench boost on the weekend, it'd have got 0 because none of my bench players played. So you just got to just chill out, see how the season unfolds. First 5-10 games, then you probably, sometimes when you get like a bench boost, sometimes as the season goes on, some teams end up playing 2 games in a week, and then that counts. So it's probably best to play triple captain there. Say like City have got, I don't know, Southampton and a game that got postponed because they had a cup game against Leicester and they're both at home and they play them Saturday, Wednesday. You're putting Harlem captain, aren't you, for them 2 games because you're 2 games in one.
Got you.
So you just got to see when to play them. Free hit, I think free hit is you can change the whole team.
Okay.
I think, but yeah, you just have to kill your jets.
Just let it settle.
Yeah.
Right, so I've sorted my bench out a little bit. So I've put Ollie Watkins in and I've put Odegaard in because they were on the bench. So
yeah, because 22 points behind me. That's poor. Very poor.
Right, Will just said so. Bench boost, all the bench players' points cost. Yeah, mystery chip hasn't been announced yet. What it is? Free
Mm.
you can make a team for 1 week. Any transfers are free. And then the next week, you revert back to your original team. So that's quite interesting. And then obviously triple captain. Right, okay. Right.
No. I'm not. That's not 100% correct. That I don't think you revert back to your old team. I think once you change, you keep that team.
I don't know. I'm going on what he said because he.
Or maybe is that what Will's saying? Maybe that's right. Then I'm wrong. Go on.
But yeah, I don't know. I just go on what he says because he's.
No, he might be right. He might be right then.
And then he said,
I thought when you changed the team, it stayed as that team.
No. So basically, right. He's just wild card. If you use that, you can make as many transfers as you want for free. So that's when you can change your whole team if you want. And then free hit. Yeah. So free hit, I suppose you could basically, like if 1 week there was a couple, you could pick all the teams which are playing the bottom of the league or whatever and chuck them in or something like that. But yeah, right. Let's do our predictions, mate, for the weekend. First and foremost, mate, who's going to win the South Wales derby?
Swansea, 2-0. No, it's that Cardiff, though, isn't it? It's that Cardiff, isn't it?
No, it's at Swansea. It is at Swansea. And history is against us, both recent and.
Yeah, but if they do win, then they've got a home game to get the voodoo and
get the double.
Home and away. But I still can't believe they've not done that. But no. 2-1 Cardiff. 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going for a 1-0 Cardiff. Me. I think we're going to keep
close game. 2-1.
Oh, we signed Will Fish from United, mate. Young player, obviously. Do you know much about him?
No, I don't. Is he a midfielder in Will Fish?
Defender. He's really good on the ball, and he looks.
No, I don't really know much about him, mate. To be honest.
Well. He's quality, mate. I'm very happy with him.
I'll find out tomorrow. I'm over.
Do some digging.
I'll find out.
And then first up, mate, we've got Man City versus Ipswich at Man City. Can Ipswich do the impossible?
4-0 City.
I got 4-1.
How can you not have Haaland in your team? This is where you're an amateur. Probably 95% of people have got Haaland in the team. The top goal scorer, the one who gets the most points, is Sai hasn't got him.
I'd like to be different, don't I? Spurs versus
different
Everton.
is that, look.
We'll see at the end, mate. We'll see at the end. Spurs.
Yeah, see at the end
Spurs,
when
Everton.
Haaland's got 30 odd goals and you haven't picked him.
Yeah, he won't get 30 this year.
Do you want to bet?
No. Spurs versus Everton. Come on.
Spurs versus Everton. 2-0 Spurs.
I've gone 3-2 to 3-2 to Spurs.
2-0 Spurs.
Crystal Palace versus West Ham, London derby.
Both of them not got a point, so I'm going to go Palace, home win.
I'm going 1-1 there. I think both teams will score. Villa versus Arsenal.
The score was 2-1, by the way. Home win 2-1. Go on, what? What was this one?
Villa, Arsenal. Big game early in the season.
Villa, Arsenal.
If Villa could get something from
Arsenal
this.
going to be a bit pissed from last year. Villa took a lot of points from him. Probably stopped him winning the league, to be honest, because they took 4 points off him. So, Arsenal, 2-1. Way win. Maybe even be 3-1, Arsenal.
I got them down as Arsenal 2-1. I have. So, yeah. Bournemouth versus Newcastle. I think Bournemouth going down, mate. I do.
Do you really? I'm going to go 1-1. This one.
Interesting. 2-0 Newcastle. I got, and then we got Liverpool versus Brentford.
Liverpool versus Brentford at Anfield.
I worry for Brentford, mind as well. I got to say, with no Ivan Toney, but they look good on the weekend. Brentford did.
Yeah, but it's at Anfield, so
yeah.
I'm going to go 3-1 there, Liverpool.
So I had 3-1. I'll just change it for the fun, and I'll make it 4-1 to Liverpool. And then just for fun, we've got Brighton.
You know what I found out as well? You don't do the same ones as you pick on Thursday.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't. No,
I absolutely do, because I do it, and then I just read it when I'm doing it.
Right. No, go back last week and look at your predictions, and your predictions are not the ones you picked.
Yeah, not sure about that. I normally read them out.
I'm positive.
Look, I read them out. Look.
No, last week, not this one. Last week.
Yeah, read them out. Read them out. Come on. So loser you are, mate.
No.
Someone who bemoans people who make excuses.
I'm a poor loser. I'm the winner, FPL winner. I'm the current champion.
It depends how you look at it. If we look at it as like a cumulative score,
no. Between me and you, you are the. I am the.
I've won it twice. You've won it once.
No.
Making it 2-1.
The first one didn't count. I didn't know what was. The first one didn't count.
Oh, there we go. It's all fun and games. It's all for a good cause, mate. Lastly, though, I want to know what your prediction is for Brighton versus Manchester United at Brighton, 12:30 Saturday.
I'm going to go 3-0 United.
Woo!
Even though it won't be that, I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1.
Oh, you got a bit giddy then for a second, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
To be honest with you, mate, I quite fancy United to beat Brighton. If Brighton play that high line like they did last week, it was so high, it was unbelievable. I just think United will pick them off. And if they do that, if they sit a bit deeper, I think it'll be a close game. But I'm going to go with 3-1 United. Although De Ligt coming in, maybe they get that clean sheets. So another one. So you never know. There was another
people listen. People will be surprised about him. People are commenting about him, and they're probably not obviously not watched him properly.
Yeah.
He's a good player. He's 24.
Absolute quality player, mate. Especially, but people think he's just like
he's not a good player. He's not this. He's not that. Been to Ajax, league title. Been to Italy, Juventus, league title. Bayern Munich, league title. Fucking hell, everywhere he's been, he's won the league. Maybe he's not. Yeah, he's this, he's that. All right, whatever.
My favourite one is Graham Souness. He's lightweight. The man's nickname is Big Boy.
Yeah. We've heard this before. No, Martinez is too small.
He's not small though. Like, all right, Martinez is small.
No, he's not. He's just not a fucking giant. But who wants a big mule of a centre half these days who can't kick a ball? No one.
Yeah. United look solid at the centre backs, mate. I've got to say, really solid. You know, Delit, Martinez, and then you've got the youngster Yoro. And then Harry Maguire's in there battling for his place, mate.
Yeah, I'm more than happy with him to play or to come in and to fill in. Or if he comes in, I know if Harry Maguire is not going to let you down, he's going to give you 100%. And his mentality is, right, I've got my chance, I'm staying in. So, and that's all you want. Yeah,
I agree, mate. Right, we'll be back next Thursday to talk about it all.
Yeah, proper like Wi-Fi went off, things went. Everyone started. Yeah, it was a nightmare. So apologies for the lateness.
Not a problem, my friend. On Sunday, 3:00, with the boys are doing a watch along for the Swansea Cardiff game. If you want to join them, you're more than welcome. Send
me the link. I'm maybe golfing Sunday. Yeah. What time?
I think it's a 3:00 kickoff, mate. I believe.
Yeah, just send me the link. Possibly, I might come on for 2 minutes on the golf course.
Jump in.
Show me striking techniques, and then just Offman's.
Well, has my advice helped? Are you good again now?
Well, Tuesday I shot 71, which was 1 under.
So
today I was 8. I think I was 8 over. So yeah, not good. It was stable for as well. I only get 3 shots, 95%. I'm 5.3 now, so I've gone down to 3. I was playing off 3 today, so yeah, it was difficult. You can't, mate. I bogeyed the first one, so I've got 2 shots left, and then when these double bogeys, mate. Once you get these double bogeys, they're a killer. And I had 2 today, so not good. So 8 over, but I'm getting better. This week I was 71, 70, 73, 71, 79. So. Yes. Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is, when my advice was lucky, ran away. When my advice was fresh in your mind, you shot a 1 under. But then, as the days passed, and you forgot what I gave, all that information and confidence that I gave you, you went 21 over.
No, it's just golf, mate. Just golf.
Come on. You've got to stick with me, mate. I'll get you through it.
No, what's happening is it's either the front 9 or the back 9. One I'm playing good, and the other I'm playing. I just got to put them 2 both together, like I did on Tuesday. But even then, on Tuesday, I left 3 or 4 putts that were like easily putts. So I've left loads of shots out there. So big score coming, mate. Big scores. 60s soon, in the 60s, then we're rocking.
Good man. Right, it's been a pleasure as always, mate. And we'll be back next week. Look out for the variety of stuff, including an interview with former Scotland international Cardiff midfielder Gavin Ray out on Saturday night on Cardiff City World. It's a good one. But until then, we'll bid you farewell. Tidy butt.